Delétraz, followed by Sasahara, Japanese driver, and Pizzatola, French driver. Fine race. Delétraz was very strong, made a little mistake in the last but two and the last but one lap. A bit nervous, but he managed to keep a 1 second lead over the Japanese Euro Nova driver. Here is Louis Delétraz, number 17. So our first championship leader, of course. And he will try to do as good as he did yesterday, which will be a little bit more difficult because the man on pole, or the young boy on pole here, is Kevin Jörg, and Delétraz is now second. Yesterday he was pole man. Delétraz now it's his countryman, his fellow countryman Kevin Jörg, two Swiss drivers. Swiss drivers doing very, very well here in the championship with Kevin Jörg, of course, Louis Delétraz, who won yesterday. All the cars now coming to the starting grid. And Levin Amweg, another Swiss driver, yesterday he finished in 4th position. So we had 3 out of 7 drivers from Switzerland, or 3 drivers from the top 7 yesterday from Switzerland. Well done. Best Dutch driver yesterday was Schothorst in the Manor MP Motorsport car. He was 5th, just behind Amweg, but in front of Albon. Albon was 6th. From Thailand, the Belgium team, KTR. Then Jörg, the other Swiss driver, Owens was 8th, Barnicoat was 9th, and Ramsey was 10th. That was the top 10 of yesterday's race. Here's Schothorst, the McGregor driver, Dutch McGregor driver, in a nice looking car with the yellow, white, blue and green livery. A bit difficult, some of the cars are looking very similar in this field. Schothorst is, at least with the livery, one of the best. And he was 5th yesterday, so making a nice debut of the season, 2014 season here. Ukio Sasahara, yesterday he was in 2nd. He managed to come very, very close in the closing stages of the race. He had a 3.5 second distance halfway through, and he came very close. It was just under 1 second at the finish line. Alexander Albon, coming from the other side of the world to race here in the Formula Renault 2-liter NEC Championship. This weekend, quite important for the young guys. They race together with the 3.5 on the same weekend, the World Series 3.5. So team managers watching for sure this race and spotting the talent among these young drivers, 32 cars.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, again at the opening weekend of
and we go through the starting grid. The Northern European Cup with a very, very nice starting grid. 7 meetings, like I said earlier on, going on. Formula 1 tracks like Monza, Silverstone is next. We also go to Spa and Nürburgring, Hockenheim, Most and Asse. Asse in August, Hockenheim and Most in June and September, if I'm correct. So very nice meetings, just Asse and Most not being Formula 1 Grand Prix tracks. So a lot to learn also for these young guys, the tracks where they want to drive in 1, 2, 3, 4 years maybe. Remember a certain Kimi Räikkönen, he came straight from Formula Renault 2-liter to Formula 1 at the time. Here in this championship we had the 2008 or 2009 champion was Valtteri Bottas. Most of you will know the name, of course. He's a Formula 1 driver nowadays. Bottas champion in 2008, Antonio Felix Acosta 2009, and a certain Carlos Sainz Jr. in 2011. Carlos Sainz Jr. who is driving now in the 3.5 series. And the 5-minute board is shown to the drivers. So everybody starts clearing the racetrack, managers and team members. And there's a good crowd coming up in Monza for this race. Later on we will have 3.5 race, we will have the spectacular Lamborghini Trofeo, and then of course the main course will be the 3-hour endurance race of the Blancpain series with the GT cars. Some of those young drivers will maybe go to GT cars or prototypes later on. Just noticing that Formula 1 might be impossible, might be too expensive or too difficult, and they become very good paid drivers, factory drivers even, like there is Antonio Felix Acosta, Frank Kechele as well, Felipe Albuquerque, also champions before Valtteri Bottas. Albuquerque, the Audi driver, so Formula 1 is not the only option for those young drivers. You also have other competitions, very interesting competitions, where you can make your dream come true. But we will now concentrate on the race, as does the crowd in the grandstand. That's Stéphane Rattel, together with Jean-Denis Delétraz, the father of Louis Delétraz, of course, former Formula 1 and GT driver, 5 years, 6 years in Corvette, Aston Martin, and other mighty GTs in the GT1 championship, the Ascari GT1 championship at the time. Delétraz, who is working together with Piccini, his former teammate, and now he's coaching his son. Nice way to recover as well, going through the fields. Yesterday, no finish for Panis, Gounod, and Roy Geerts, the Formula 1.6 champion in the Benelux last year. Quite some crashes in the opening stages of the race as well. Adrenaline going through the guys, very eager to win, to gain places, and then sometimes it goes wrong and we have crashes like we saw yesterday. Schothorst on third position, very nice performance in qualifying. Fourth is Ukio Sasahara on the starting grid. Alexander Albon is fifth, Gustav Malja sixth, Aurélien Panis is 7th, Matthew Graham is 8th, Callan O'Keefe 9th, and Andrea Pizzitola, the French driver who was 3rd yesterday, he finished 3rd, he's in 10th position on this starting grid today. The concentration is building up. Louis Delétraz, winner of yesterday's race.
In position number 10 in the number 12 Manor MP Motorsport car. So I think we can expect a lot from the young French driver who is
and we're watching
third season.
The race director,
so Andrea Pizzitola, yesterday
Schothorst, here with a very, very nice livery. I told you before. Green, yellow, white, blue. Distinctive car as well in this 32 car field. Marketing wise, a good option. As is the car from Alexander Albon, reminding us of a Formula 1 team, the Lotus Formula 1 team, of course, which is also distinctive. Mr. Sasahara will try to go from 4th into 3rd, 2nd, and maybe 1st. He missed out victory yesterday by less than 1 second in Euronova Formula Renault. Number 46. Engines on now, 1 minute to go. 1 minute left before the warming up lap, and then standing start, not a rolling start, standing start of course with the single-seater cars, 2-liter single-seater car. Poleman Kevin York, Josef Kaufmann Racing, another Swiss driver. Some of those drivers will compete only few races, 3 races in this championship. Most of them will do the complete series. Why 3 races? Because then they can do testing and the Euro Cup. If you do more races than 3, then you just cannot do all the testing for the Euro Cup, etc. A bit of difficult regulation, as we have 3 championships in Europe. We have Alps, NEC, and Euro Cup, and it's not allowed to compete in all 3 championships. And green flag away for the warming up lap. Kevin York, Louis Delétraz, Steijn Schothorst, Ukio Sasahara, Alexander Albon, and everyone following. very, very nice field on a tremendous racetrack, tow racetrack. But speed is very important. Speed and towing. Coming close to the car in front of you, and then due to the drag overtaking the car, there's no DRS. This is not a technical one. And then Monza, long straights, heavy braking, turning into the chicane left or right, and then re-accelerating for another straight. Few difficult corners, most of them, unless the parabolica at the end, most of them are chicanes. So heavy braking, getting the right line, and certainly getting out very fast out of the chicane. It's more important to brake maybe a little earlier, to have a nice speed in the corner and building up the speed again on the long straight, braking too late and ruining the corner, and then also ruining the top speed on the straight following. Of course, those drivers know all of this. They mostly come out of karting, maybe one junior series before, like Formula Renault 1.6 in Benelux, and then straight into the 2 liter after 3.5. Formula 1, 2, 3 of them. This is, as you see, as we are coming close to the start, the proper start of the race, this is the next generation of Formula 1 drivers. And maybe 2-3 years time we will hear maybe like Delétraz or Steijn Schothorst driving for McLaren or Marussia or Williams. And then you will remember, I saw this guy in Monza when he was doing Formula Renault 2 liter. The whole starting grid coming to the last corner, the parabolica, then waiting for the line changing, and we're off for 14 laps, 25 minutes. Intense racing. Some good racing yesterday. A good battlefield, second, third, fourth, fifth as well. Well-known teams as well here in this championship. With Josef Kaufmann, team of Stoffel van Doorne 2 years ago, our junior team. So in GP2 and GT racing, Euronova, Fortec, Manor. Most of the teams there for a long time, lots of experience, knowledge about how to build or how to set a good racing car, a good single-seater. Kevin York, Delétraz on the right. The image is different. Schothorst third. Sasahara. Here, Sasahara 46. 11 is Schothorst. This is Alexander Albon, 5th. Gustav Malia, number 14. And then Aurélien Panis, of course, the French son of the French Formula 1 driver, and Monaco Grand Prix winner for Ligier Prost in '95, if I'm right. Green flag, we hope. Yes. Building up, revving, and then red lights. And we're off. 25 minutes of racing. Delétraz taking the insides of his countryman York, and Delétraz might go into the lead. York defending on the outside, and York keeps first place. Schothorst is third. Everyone going through the first chicane. Instance, big instance, at least number 7 here. Van Riener. And we're away. 25-minute race. Delétraz, York leading. Delétraz, Schothorst defending to Albon. Sasahara lost 4th to Albon. Schothorst in a very, very defending position there. The rest of the field going through as well. Better than yesterday. Fewer, so far, fewer incidents. No touching. Cars. Roll back. And that's Albon. Being passed by Sasahara. Whoa, Sasahara going off! Ooh, breaking his rear suspension, and I think Albon has been touched as well. So 2 of the front runners, I said fewer incidents, but there we are. I think Albon is still there, but look at the gap between the number 3 Schothorst and the rest of the field. And another incident. Number 14, which is of course Gustav Malja. This is crazy with 3, 4, 5 cars on a row. 6 cars now. What will happen in the next chicane? Heavy braking of some of the drivers, and of course this must go wrong. Predictable when we saw the 6 drivers on a row on the straight here in Monza. But meanwhile, Jörg is leading Delétraz, Schothorst, Albon. Amweg. And the rest of the field. Barnicoat as well. Pistonia. This is very intense and very nice to follow. What a shame for Sasahara and one of the Swedish drivers again. He's angry. This is number 35 going off. This is Levin Amweg. The front runners. What a difficult opening lap. Yellow flag, of course, for the Japanese driver Yukio Sasahara, who's standing with there. Another front wing touched, and that's one of the front runners as well. He will come in very soon into the pit lane. There's the top 3. Schothorst, Delétraz, and Jörg, but in the other way around, of course, Jörg leading the field for Delétraz and Schothorst. They have a 4.7 gap, second gap to Kevin Albon. Delétraz second now, 0.4 of a second. Then Schothorst, Albon at 5. Barnicoat 5th now. And it's 25, Jules Gounon is coming into the pit lane, and we already missed like 6, 7 drivers, 6, 7 cars. Will we see more touching here, more incidents? Is Itola 6th already? He was, remember, he was 3rd yesterday. He's having a fine race. Geert's now 14th. Climbing up the ranks as well. Geert's who started in 18th position today. And it's number 5, Jake Hughes, into the pit lane as well. So we miss Jake Hughes, number 5, 7, Stefan Riener, 46, of course, Yukio Sasahara, number 14, Gustav Malja, and number 4, Oria Panis. And that's number 5, Jake Hughes, came into the pit lane, front wing problem, and that's our top 3, nicely together. We see number 4, 5, 6, Albon, and Jörg setting down a very, very fast second sector. Schothorst doing the same in the first sector. Schothorst closing in on Delétraz, but almost losing it. And will Schothorst be able to try to overtake Delétraz? I don't think so in this lap. Although he's closing in, the gap is under 1 second from position 1 to 3. 2 Swiss drivers and a Dutch driver. We're missing Belgian drivers as well here in Monza. And the young Belgian drivers can come, of course, to the second season of the Formula 1, the Formula 1.6, with the kickoff next week in Zandvoort, together with the Renault Clio Benelux. As well, kickoff next week in Zandvoort for the bistro races, pass races, as they say in Dutch. Oh! And there I think two of the Keerberg Transport racing cars touching each other and going off, of course, with the damaged front spoiler, front wing. And if you touch, you damage the front wing, but also the opponent, his rubber, his tires might be touched. Very dangerous. We'll try to numbers. Discover still Jörg leading Delétraz and Schothorst and Morris Ramsey closing the top 10. We've done 1/3 of the race so far. A lot of incidents again in the opening stages, as we saw yesterday. Similar, and that's of course a consequence of a damaged front spoiler. And normally we will see the Formula Renault coming into the pit lane. Ooh, and that was very dangerous maneuver, overtaking on the right, going over the white line, which is not allowed. That could have been a very huge impact, and that's another front wing. Number 35, Levin Amweg, managing to keep his top 10 position despite a damaged car. And that's Owens. Or not. Callan O'Keefe, sorry. Callan O'Keefe. It's very difficult because a lot of similar liveries. Number 31 here, Sepp Morris, one of the Britain drivers. Keefe indeed. Callan O'Keefe in the pit lane. Callan O'Keefe from the Republic of South Africa. In the lead still Kevin York, leading Delétraz and Schothorst. Delétraz, his main ambition is to win this championship this year. Followed by the rest of the bunch, over 5 seconds now, Albon. Then Barnicode, that's 6.6. Pizzottola 8.8, Owens 12, 13 for Amweg, and then the rest. Nice battles everywhere, not only at front, but also here in the midfield. Amweg losing a position to Sepp Morris. Battle for 8, 9, 10 position. Everything now a bit cleaner, and we lived in the opening laps of the race. Certainly the opening lap, the second half of the opening lap, where we lost first of all the Sasahara, very important, we lost second yesterday in the race. And Geerts doing a very fine race as well. 12th now, 12th position for Geerts, the second Dutch driver. Only 2-3 seconds away from 6-7 position. Meanwhile, Delétraz and Schothorst still following the leader. Geerts now 11th. A nice performance from the young Dutch driver who won the Formula 1.6 last year in the closing stages of the last race at Assen. 26 cars still running in the same lap. We started with 32. York leading Delétraz, Schothorst, Albon. Position seem to be a bit frozen at the moment. That's a replay from, of course, Okio Sasahara, damaging his car, retiring, and that's the incident at the end of the first lap where we lost more drivers than the second time into the chicane after start finish. That's a classic. So lots of incidents, and that was dangerous. That was really dangerous. Maybe we will see a message from the race director on this incident. Overtaking on the right, going over the white line from the pit lane. The wall is very close there. If you hit a wall at that speed, we could have very, very, very important consequences. And another battle further down the field. Very nice, 4 cars in a row. Towing and overtaking. Meanwhile, Roy Geerts dropped down into 17th position. Our Benelux champion of last year. Shame. And Danilo Pronenko, number 40, also having difficulties. Number 21, Nicolas Surgelatse. And Jorge Savalas, Robin Hansen going over the curbstones, and that's very bad for those cars. Maybe with a GT car you can manage it, but with a Formula Renault you're damaging the bottom of the car, very important for the flow. And there another battle position. Nice overtaking there. And this might be Roy Geerts in the... Oh! And I think that's Mr. Panis? No, Ryan Vetter. Ryan Vetter. And Josef Kaufmann Racing car. And our top 3. Nicely behaving. No incidents. Schothorst 3rd, Delétraz 2nd, and York 1st. Delétraz, of course, already managing his championship. He won yesterday, he's 2nd now. The very, very important points to score. Geerts again in 15th position now. York yesterday 7th and Schothorst 5th. Confirmation of the high level of those 3 drivers, of course. 10 minutes to go. We're over halfway. Tire drop-off could be an issue now, because we're using the last set of fresh tires for this race. And the drop-off is quite important for the Michelin tires. So our top 3 now over 1 second and 2 seconds to Schothorst. Delétraz setting down a very nice second sector, but York immediately responding with a very good and fastest 3rd sector. Jörg, Delétraz, Schothorst, Albon, Barnicoat, Visitola, Barnicoat closing in on Albon. Sepp Morris in 8th. Graham. This is further down the field. What could we still see changing? Well, top 3, maybe. The battle for first, Albon and number 33, Barnicoat. Less than a second between those two drivers. Our French driver Pisitola is quite on his own in 6th, and then the battle for 10th, for 6th, no, for 7th to 10th could be interesting as well. So far so good for the top 3. Jörg Delétraz Schothorst, and lap times faster than yesterday. Quite interesting to see. Fastest lap yesterday was Sasahara in 1.53.310. Best lap today, fastest lap today is under 50, is Delétraz in 49.8 and Jörg in 49.9. Oh, Albon in the pit lane. We lose. Yeah, that's for sure number 23. Alexander Albon in the pit lane. And of course, a pit stop in this kind of sprint race, 25-minute race, is a disaster. You lose about everything. Would like to have a snapshot of the pit lane, of course. Albon is out of the pit lane again. Oh, and what happened there? That is a serious impact. We might see a safety car. This driver is still in the car. Will we see a safety car due to this incident? Still trying to find out who it is. Meanwhile, Jörg is setting down. Oh yeah, he's okay. I'd like to have a closer look on the car. See the number. And it's almost on start finish. No safety car, only yellow flags. And the car has been taken away by the marshals. They do a very fine job again. The marshals are very important for motorsport in general. Being there every weekend. Number 39, Andrea Baiguera from Italy. Home race, but not till the end. But he's okay, he's fine, that's the most important thing. So marshals very important for motor racing everywhere in Europe, in the world. They're present every weekend to help us. Without them, there's no racing at all. Meanwhile, Jörg has a 1.5 second lead on Delétraz. Schothorst is now third on 3.5. The rest of the field is following on 10 seconds plus. Jörg is maybe on his way, Kevin Jörg, on his way to a first victory of the season, followed by his countryman Delétraz. Swiss domination this weekend in Monza. Switzerland, a country without racetracks. They were banned in the 50s after the Mercedes accident in Le Mans, but still having some very, very nice, fast drivers. Here with Delétraz and Jörg. There you see the difference between the two drivers. Jörg now going very, very fast in the closing stages of the race. He has a 1.5 second gap over Delétraz. Both drivers going under 50 in 49 something. The only drivers so far managing to do so, going under 50. Another overtaking maneuver, maybe. Down the field, which is quite remarkable. Jörg and Delétraz, they're a bit on their own. in this race with Schothorst following in third, with all the rest on 10 seconds plus. Delétraz now setting a very fast first sector, closing in again on Jörg. We have still 4 minutes to go, so Delétraz might have a last moment attack plan in mind. We'll see. We'll see for the second sector. We're waiting now for the chrono split of the second sector. Will he close in on Jörg? Will he put some pressure on his countryman? Will he fight for the lead? Will he be conservative and keep second? No, Delétraz losing out over a second in the second sector. Schothorst now closing in on Delétraz. That's what we see here. Delétraz now losing every chance to win this race. Maybe he made a little mistake in this lap, in the second sector of this lap. He was putting down the fastest sector time in the first sector, but then losing out over a second in the second sector. What happened, we didn't see. But maybe he made a little mistake. And now he has to defend his second position to Schothorst. Consequence, Delétraz now following on 2.5 seconds, Schothorst 3.9, so a 1.4 second gap between number 2 and 3 in the race. Number 33, Barnecoat, is in fourth position with over 10 seconds. And yeah, Pizzatola also doing a very fine job, the French driver. Yesterday in third, now in fifth position. Constant top 5 runner, so very nice battle here. Overtaking maneuver at the chicane, and that's heavy braking. Oh! What happened there? That's 25. He's angry at least. 35. Levin Amweg, a bit angry. Making justice to the driver still standing there, and he is stuck in the gravel bed. That's one thing that for sure. Number 34, Martin Kodric from Croatia. Yeah, that's explaining delivery on his car, Croatia. So braking, and I think it was touching, and then both drivers off. And they were battling with Roy Geerts, and Roy Geerts will gain 2 places after this incident. Meanwhile, 1 minute to go, and we're in the closing stages of this race. Delétraz now 3.1 seconds behind Jörg and Schothorst, just 1 second behind Delétraz. Maybe Schothorst has a little plan left. Number 35 here coming out of the gravel bed, but Kevin had already a broken front spoiler, so this will not do any good to his chances to finish high up the ranks. Like I said here, it's now 13th, taking profit out of the problem, and that's the difference between Jörg and Delétraz. But that's Schothorst not really closing in enough on Delétraz to put the pressure in the final lap. So we'll keep the top 3 as we have it now normally. Jörg, Delétraz and Schothorst. Here Jörg, Kevin Jörg, first victory of the season. First you have to finish first, but we could say we more or less know the top 3 of this race, with Schothorst in this beautiful McGregor car in third, making a first podium finish of the year in the NEC 2-liter. Last lap and closing stages of the race. Last corner, keeping everything nicely together, and then up to the finish line. Well done, Kevin Jörg. First victory of the year. Also, great performance of Louis Delétraz second and Schothorst third. Nice podium. All three also very, very good. Yesterday Schothorst fifth, now third. Delétraz first and second, and Jörg seventh and first. With Barricode in fourth. Sorry, Barricode in fourth. Pizzitola in fifth position. Yesterday third position. And the rest of the field. That was it. This race for the second race of the weekend. The Italian meeting in Monza. The first Formula 1 track of the championship. And we might say that we have already a little list of strong names. Mainly Louis Delétraz, of course. First and second, he is the championship leader after this weekend. He will go to Silverstone to defend his first position in the championship. Silverstone in the last but one weekend of May. The month of May, in a couple of weeks' time. On the 24th and 25th of May in Silverstone on the Grand Prix track. Together again with the Blancpain Endurance Series. And here the two Swiss drivers. Switzerland above all. Holland in third. Kevin York. In the number 15 Josef Kaufmann car. Delétraz as well, a Josef Kaufmann Racing driver. Schothorst racing for Manor MP. So Kaufmann clearly doing a very, very fine job. And all the drivers will go into the Parc Fermé. Except for the top three, they will head for the podium. And this is the result after 14 laps again. Jörg, Delétraz, Schothorst, Barricode, Pizzitola, Owens, Graham, Morris, Ramsey, Zaruba, Dalewski and Ringbom. This is the top 12 of this second race of the weekend. Nice race with some incidents in the opening stages. Here's Gounod, Vetter, Morin, Moreno, Albon, Pronenko, Surgaladze, Hansen, Savales, Richard, Riener. And that's about it for the finishing drivers. Now O'Keefe, Hughes, Amweg, Modric, and that's those cars retired. The highlights. Building up the grid this morning under a cloudy, but it's nice. It's nice. Good start from pole sitter York, defending his position to Delétraz. Geerts trying to attack, and in a brief moment he took second for a moment. Then the incident with, of course, very important, Ukio Sasahara out of the race in lap 1. One of the main drivers here. Yesterday fine second. Another incident in the Parabolica, taking out one or two front runners as well. Another incident. I said it's an incident in the opening stages of the race. Here, some incidents at the end still. But a stable top 3 meanwhile with Jörg, Delétraz and Schothorst. Jörg really controlling the race. Professional drive. A very, very dangerous maneuver. Pit lane entry. Some carbon fiber flying away. Some over-braking and touching over the curbstones. Not really that good for the cars. Damaging the car. Another guy going off. Number 16. And then going to the finish almost. I think this is Roy Geerts. And this is what happened to our Dutch driver. That's why he lost some places at a certain moment. This was Andrea Baiguera, the Italian driver. There, the end of the race with the Croatian driver Martin Kodric taking off. one of the other drivers, and then heading to the finish. Levin Amweg, third Swiss driver, the only Swiss driver not on the podium for this race. Art Grand Prix junior team, and that was York winning, followed by Delétraz and Schothorst. Kevin York winning the race. A very fine race. And that's it for today. That's it for Monza, and we see each other in Silverstone in a couple of weeks' time.